learning new skills helps to keep your brain young. And in fact, learning any type of new skill can be beneficial because it activates the part of your brain that's geared for learning. And it does it just as much in your adult life as it did during your school days. And it doesn't really matter what you learn as long as you learn something new. And you're never too old to learn something new. Specifically though, there are a few things which have been proven to help boost brain capacity as you get older. And the first one is learning a new language. And this form of brain training is a constant way of keeping your mind active and engaged. And it has other benefits as well. After all, if you learn to, say, speak Spanish, you might then want to go and visit Spain or Mexico or countries in South America where you can actually practice this language. So it gives you something else to look forward to, something else to think about, in addition to just simply learning the new language. And according to a study published in 2007, having the ability to speak a second language may delay the onset of Alzheimer's disease by up to 4.5 years, which is pretty good. Now, research is still being done to find out specifically why it causes such a great delay, but it's been suggested that it's a result of being able to switch between languages and being able to suppress one language while speaking another. And this is according to research done by retireathome.com. Now, something else that you can learn as you get older, and in fact throughout your life, are computer games. Now, some people think computer games are a waste of time. It's something that teenagers do when they should be outside playing in the sunshine or studying or doing something else. But they are wrong. In a study published by the Journal of Neuroscience, college students who played Super Mario 3D World for 2 weeks improved their memory recall by about 12%, which I'm sure you'll agree is quite significant. And it doesn't just apply to young people, it can apply to older people as well. And playing video games by the elderly has been shown to ward off symptoms of dementia and to help boost memory. And again, just like learning a new language, is because you have to learn the moves, you have to learn the rules, you have to learn how to do different things within the video game, and it helps your hand-eye coordination, and it does all sorts of good things. In fact, this website here, Brain Metrics, that's trix.com/memory-game, actually has some very good games on their website that you can play for free. And in particular, this memory game, which is something which you can do to help exercise your memory, do things like remember faces or things that you've heard, etc. And it has a lot of interesting information about it right here on the site. And also they have some other brain training games that you can access on the site as well, things like 8 Queens or Arrange Games, Brain Fitness, Brain Reflection, etc. And they are very, very good, and it's well worth a visit, and it's all free online. And something else that you can learn how to do is how to cook new recipes. And learning to cook new recipes can be beneficial in several ways. First of all, you need to learn how to do it, and just like I was saying earlier on in the video, this activates the same learning mechanisms in your brain that you used to use when you were at school. But also, it introduces you to new foodstuffs, which are things that might be healthier than what you're already eating. And of course, when you learn how to cook a different recipe, often it's a good excuse for having friends and family round for dinner. And of course, social interaction helps to boost your memory. So it has a lot of beneficial things. It's win-win-win all along. And so every time you can learn a new skill, that schoolboy or schoolgirl deep inside you comes back to the fore, and you get to think yourself much younger than you did before. You need to get out more if you want to stay youthful. And lots of people, both young and old, don't do much socializing outside of their work. They come home, they eat dinner, and they spend the rest of the evening and much of the weekend in front of the TV, and they have absolutely no social interaction with anybody outside perhaps their immediate family at all. And the problem gets even worse for retired people or for entrepreneurs who work from home. Sometimes they don't see or speak to anyone, again, apart from perhaps their immediate family, for days or even weeks at a time. And this is terrible because being socially active is a great way to keep aging at bay. Meeting new people keeps your brain active. You take an interest in others, and you need to get to know them and to figure them out. And quite often, I'm sure everybody knows, when you go and you meet someone for the first time, you get to know them. You have to learn about them. You have to think about them. You have to try and figure them out, and that means that you have to work your brain. Whereas when you're around people that you know well, you know them so well you could probably finish off their sentences for them, and then your brain really isn't having to work very hard. And this exercises parts of your brain that you probably don't use very often if you spend all day staring at your TV or talking to the same people day in, day out, like I was just saying. So, attending social gatherings with family and friends, or attending sports fixtures or other events, is a great way to actually meet people, to be in different surroundings, and to interact with all sorts of other people who you perhaps don't know or don't know very well. Or perhaps you might want to take up a hobby or a sport, and that can be beneficial too. I mean, for example, take the golfers in this photograph here. You can see there's quite a broad age range, and golf is a sport that's played by both young and old. And this is very important, because being around or being in tune with other younger people keeps you up to date with the latest ideas, keeps you up to date with the latest fashions, keeps you up to date with the latest trends, and also you find out what's going on in different people's lives. You find out all sorts of different things that are happening, and again, that helps to keep your brain active. And the more active your brain is, the more forward thinking you're going to be, the more youthful you're going to be, especially again if you look at the way that younger people look and the way that young people act. Some of that's going to rub off on you if you're around them long enough. And of course, other people have different life experiences, and they probably think in different ways to you. So they may provide solutions to problems that you're having in your life, problems that are causing you a lot of aging, stress and worry. And other people may also know about the latest technology, the latest music, the latest movies, etc., etc. And all of this helps you to feel younger and to look and act in a less staid manner. Travel is also important if you want to stay young. You know the old saying, travel broadens the mind. So, visiting somewhere you've never been before helps to form new memories, and of course it gives you something new to talk about to people that you know and to people that you've just encountered. And sometimes you might feel like visiting somewhere for the first time because someone that you've met has told you about it. And revisiting places from the past helps to cement older memories and to keep them fresh in your mind. And you might even bump into people you used to know and revive even more old memories. And you can catch up on what's going on in the wider world. And again, being in touch with what's going on, not being out of touch like lots of older people are who are very set in their ways, can make you look, feel and act much more youthful than you really are.